Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we are looking at using the cubes method to solve word problems. Being able to analyze a word problem will determine if you get the answer correct or incorrect. So the C in cubes means to circle the number. When you read a word problem, circle the numbers in that problem. The U means to underline the question. So when you read the word problem, look for what the question is asking you for. B means to box important words. So you will go through the scenario and find all the keywords that will help you to know what operations to use and what you need to focus on. So when you get to the other stage, which is to evaluate and make a plan, you know exactly what to do. And the last step is where you solve the problem and check to make sure your answer is correct. So today we will use two examples to go through the cubes method. The first example is a painter rented a wallpaper steamer at 9 a.m. and returned it at 4 p.m. He paid a total of $28.84. What was the total cost per hour? So using the cube method, first it says we should circle the numbers in the problem. So now I will go through the problem and I will circle all the numbers. I see 9 a.m., 4 p.m., and $28.84. The 9 a.m. tells me this is the start time that he borrowed the steamer. The 4 p.m. tells me that's when he returned the steamer. And the $28.84 tells me that's the total cost. Then I will move on to my U, which states I should underline the question. So we will go through the word problem again. What is the question in this problem? What was the rental cost per hour? This means I am focusing on finding the cost per hour. All right. And then we move on to B. B states we should box the keywords. What are the keywords? The keywords I see are per hour, and per means to divide. And I also see total, which they already gave to us. Now I will move on to my E. It says find the total rental time and decide on the operation to calculate per hour. So we already know the total cost, but we don't know the total rental time. So we need to work out from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. How many hours would that be? And that would be 7 hours. So we have the two information we need to solve. The total cost, which is $28.84, and the total rental time, which is 7 hours. Per means to divide, so I know I will be dividing. That would be $28.84 divided by 7. So my answer would be $4.12. So when I look at my options, I see that my answer would be C. Let's try a second one. This one says, Annie is planning a business meeting for her company. She has a budget of $1,325 for renting a meeting room at a local hotel and providing lunch. She expects 26 people to attend the meeting. The cost of renting the meeting room is $270. Which inequality shows how to find the amount X Annie can spend on lunch for each person? For this one, I'm going to ask you to pause the video and use the cubes method to solve. Okay, welcome back. So the C means to circle the numbers. What are the numbers in this scenario? I see she has a budget of $1,325, so I will circle this. She's also expecting 26 people to attend, and the cost for renting the meeting room is $270. Those are very important key numbers. The next step is to underline. What is it we're trying to find? So the question is asking which inequality shows how to find the amount X Annie can spend on lunch for each person. So we know we are writing an inequality. And we also want to know the cost per person for lunch. So now I will move on to my B. My B says we should box the key words. What are the key words? I see budget. And what do you know about budget? If you have a budget, that's the maximum amount you can spend. So you can't spend more than $1,325. Another key word is renting. I know that's an expense she will need to pay. And I also see per person or each person. So these are some of the keywords. All right. So now we are moving on. And now it's time for us to evaluate. Looking at the scenario, I know the total cost will be equal to the cost for renting the room and the cost she will pay for lunch. Lunch costs for 28 people, we don't know, so we will use X to represent the unknown, so that would be 26X. We also know since the budget is $1,325, it can't be more than $1,325. So looking at the four options that they gave us, I can say that this one which says greater than or equal to could not be the answer, because we know it cannot be greater than. C also could not be the answer, because both of these scenarios are telling me, both of these inequalities are telling me that the budget can go over 1,325, and we know that's not possible. Now, which of these two scenarios would make sense? Now it's time for us to solve. Looking at the inequality, we can see that we already said the 26X would represent people. So this could be correct. D says 270X, that does not represent people. We know the 270 represent rent, so D could also not be correct. So 26X represents the amount of people she will be feeding, plus the cost to rent the room, and it can be less than or it could be equal to 1,325. So we know our answer would be B. And this is how you solve word problems. Try the cubes method, and you will realize how simple word problems can be. Bye for now.